Hey guys, welcome back to the weekly update of all the games I've been playing during the week. And this week I played 3 games, and starting off with Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. We're getting really close for the physical copy to come out. As you know, I've been slowly working my way through the Platinum Trophy. I'm really trying to savor it. And this week I decided to go for 2 trophies, and they're really related to each other. So the first one is escort 8 survivors at once, and the other is escort 8 female survivors at once. So when I was doing those trophies, I discovered that I actually was wrong, and there is a limit to how many survivors and psychopaths could be spawned in at one time. The devs made it sound like there was no limit to it anymore, but it's not true. The survivor count is 8 at once, and only 8 could be spawned in on the map. So if there's like a psychopath that has survivors, then, and if you already have like 6 for example, and the psychopath plus 3 more survivors, that psychopath won't spawn. So yeah, there really is a limit. So I had to reload my save file until I figured out why it wouldn't spawn. So yeah, that's what I did for Dead Rising Deluxe Remastered this week. And yeah, that's all I have to say on it. So that was Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. Alright, so next up is Silent Hill 2, the remake. So this is a third-person survival horror game, and you play as a guy named James Sutherland, and he's basically looking for his wife in the town of Silent Hill after he received a mysterious letter that is supposedly from her, but he knows that she passed away 3 years prior. But for some reason he's intrigued enough to go to the town and look for her regardless. So this game's combat is similar to other survival horror games. So in this one it's melee focused and shooting based focused, but it's more leaning towards the melee portion of the combat, because the ammunition is very limited, so you really have to make your shots count. And luckily for the melee combat, the melee weapons do not break, so you can use them as much as you want. And that's, something I did not expect. I expected it to have durability, but luckily it doesn't, because there's a lot of enemies in this game. Apart from just the combat, you also have environmental puzzles that you can solve, that you need to solve in order to progress the story. And a majority of the gameplay here is you exploring every nook and cranny you can to find these key items to solve puzzles, or actual keys to open doors. And it's all very typical of a survival horror game, but it's done very well here, and I can see why so many people hold Silent Hill 2 in particular to a high regard. So to sum up the gameplay of the whole game, it's basically like Resident Evil. But so if you like Resident Evil, you're more than likely going to like this game. What really impressed me the most about this game is the atmosphere and the audio design. What really impressed me about these things is just how everything looks, how the fog looks, and just all the detail they really packed into this game. And the audio design in particular is very scary. So like, for instance, like you can walk past a door that you tried to open, and as you walk past it you would hear banging on the door as you walk past, or you hear floors creak, or you hear like a whisper in the distance. And everything that they did for the audio was expertly placed, so it doesn't feel like a cheap jump scare or anything. It feels genuine, like if you were actually there physically. So the only thing I have to say negative about the game itself is the way you open cabinets or drawers. So you have to stand in a certain position in order for you to open it, because the little indicator to open these drawers and cabinets is a little finicky. But other than that, the game is very good, and if you love survival horror games, I highly recommend it. And I really am enjoying the game so much that I see myself playing this game like every year during this time on Halloween. So yeah, that's all I really have to say for the game. I'm really looking forward to the rest of it. That was Silent Hill 2. And the last game I've been playing during the week is Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. So this is the 4th entry of the Budokai Tenkaichi franchise, and this is my first time playing that franchise, so I didn't know what to expect. I just expected it to be another Dragon Ball fighting game, because that's what they all are. But to my surprise, this game has a very deep combat system where there's so many different inputs for just like evasive maneuvers or counters that it's kind of overwhelming sometimes, and I'm just trying to button mash my way to victory, which you can't do that in this game. So luckily for me and for everyone else, there is a robust training mode that has your basic training, your immediate training, and your advanced training. So you're able to learn all these evasive maneuvers and counters. So like I've said, because how deep the combat is, it is not like Dragon Ball Xenoverse. So if you played those games and that's what you expect this game to be, you're going to be left disappointed. So because the combat has such a steep learning curve, the game is actually pretty difficult. Even on the easier difficulty, I'm still getting my butt kicked. But overall, like, just the adrenaline of the combat flow, the animations really outweigh the difficulty spikes. So in this game you do have a campaign mode, but unfortunately the campaign mode isn't really the focus of this game. So the campaign mode is told through a series of still images and a couple of 3D rendered cutscenes. So it's not like the Xenoverse games where you have full-blown 3D cutscenes, but it gets the job done. It's just a retelling of the Dragon Ball Z story, and I'm assuming a little bit of Super, but I haven't reached that point in the game yet. So you are able to play as multiple characters in the story mode. So you can play as Goku, of course, Vegeta, Frieza, Gohan, and you can also play as Goku Black. It's a character from Dragon Ball Super. And what really is surprising about the campaign is that you actually have what-ifs scenarios sprinkled through. So you are given a choice in certain parts of the story and it'll unfold in a different way. So that's pretty cool. That was unexpected. So that's another layer to add to the paper-thin story mode. Like I mentioned before, the campaign mode isn't really the focus here. It's more focused on the other modes like battles, custom battles, tournaments, as well as the online matchmaking. So know that beforehand, and that's why the campaign is paper thin. But what makes up for the lack of a deep story mode is you also have customization. So you can customize like your player profile, your avatar. You can customize the outfits for all the characters, and you can also add accessories and some like stats that are altered with items. So you can do that for every character. And from my experience, when I started the game, you do get 117 characters to play with from the start, and I believe the roster is over 180, so that's actually pretty good. So this also includes the pre-order bonus that you get with the game. That's actually more of a day one edition. Like if you buy the game right now, you get the pre-order bonus because it's in the game case. The one complaint I have about the game isn't with the gameplay itself, it's more about the menus. So the menus are like dynamic, so they take place in like the Dragon Ball universe and you're Goku, and every time you switch to a different menu, the Goku instant transmissions somewhere else in the Dragon Ball universe. And the transitions are beautiful and they're vibrant and everything, but my issue with the menus is the way they mapped the buttons to switch menus. So you use the shoulder buttons to switch menus, but they also added the feature of moving to different menus by using the left thumbstick. So sometimes when I'm trying to pick something on a certain menu, I accidentally hit the left or the right on the thumbstick and it switches menus when I did not intend to do that. So that's pretty annoying, and I know it's a very minor complaint and I'm basically nitpicking right now. And overall the game is really good. The game is difficult, but it's a lot of fun and it makes up for that. So if you are interested in a Dragon Ball game that is more complex and deep than the Xenoverse games, then I highly recommend you check it out. If you're even a Dragon Ball fan, you're more than likely already owning this game. But, you know, I do wanted to mention I am enjoying it. So that was Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. So that was everything I played this week. And once again, I want to ask you guys what you played during the week and what other games are you guys looking forward to for the rest of the year. So anyways, guys, thank you.